just be careful and just listen to what they tell you, okay?
In The Deadliest Catch, Mandy Hansen sets off on a daring journey through the dangerous Bering Sea.
Well, I always wanted to go fishing. I've always just loved the ocean. There's something about it that catches your eye.
Despite the numerous challenges she faced, Mandy displayed remarkable courage.
When you're in there, always keep an eye out, too.
As she navigated her ship through the icy waters. However, tragedy struck during what would be Mandy's final voyage. The details of her last sail remain shrouded in mystery, leaving viewers curious about the circumstances of her heartbreaking fate. Join us as we explore the events leading up to Mandy Hansen's tragic final journey on the Bering Sea. Mandy Hansen's traumatic journey on her father's sea territory. Mandy Hansen, an 18-year-old rising star on the reality TV show Deadliest Catch, is gearing up for her inaugural crab fishing expedition aboard the Northwestern. Despite her excitement, she admits to feeling nervous about how her male counterparts will perceive her presence in the traditionally male-dominated industry. Born on June 10, 1996, in Seattle, Washington, Mandy is the daughter of Sig Hansen, a renowned crab fisherman and the captain of the Northwestern. Growing up in a family deeply entrenched in the fishing trade, Mandy developed a profound affinity for the sea and a desire to follow in her father's footsteps. Her upbringing involved spending summers on her father's vessel, where she observed firsthand the toils and tribulations of commercial fishing. Sig, recognizing Mandy's keen interest, took it upon himself to impart invaluable knowledge to his daughter, from navigation techniques to safety protocols and the intricacies of life aboard a fishing boat. Mandy absorbed everything her father had to offer. The Hansen family's fishing legacy, spanning multiple generations, instilled within Mandy a deep-seated respect for the ocean, a robust work ethic, and an unwavering determination to succeed in the face of adversity. Despite the inherent dangers of commercial fishing, particularly in the perilous waters of the Bering Sea, Mandy's love for the sea and her familial ties to the industry only served to fuel her ambitions further. Under her father's tutelage, she honed her skills in crab fishing, mastering everything from baiting traps to sorting and storing the day's catch. Additionally, she gained invaluable experience in navigation, boat maintenance, and the indispensable role of teamwork in such a high-pressure environment. As Mandy geared up for her maiden crab fishing voyage, she acknowledged the challenges that lie ahead. Commercial fishing in the Bering Sea is notorious for its treacherous conditions, including unpredictable weather patterns, frigid temperatures, and violent storms. However, armed with her father's guidance, her determination, and a passion for the sea that runs deep within her veins, Mandy is ready to tackle whatever obstacles come her way as she embarks on her journey to carve out her place in the male-dominated realm of commercial fishing. The area encounters some of the most extreme weather conditions on the planet, with formidable winds, towering waves, and sub-zero temperatures that can swiftly become lethal for unprepared crews. These circumstances render navigation challenging and escalate the peril of accidents, such as vessels capsizing or crew members being swept overboard. Apart from the hazards presented by the environment, the labor itself is exceedingly physically demanding. Crab fishing entails extensive hours of manual labor, often on slick decks and close to heavy machinery. Crews must labor swiftly and competently to set and retrieve hefty crab pots, categorize the catch, and stow it properly, all while contending with exhaustion and the incessant motion of the vessel. One of the most severe perils confronted by commercial fishing crews is the hazard of falling overboard. The icy waters of the Bering Sea can induce hypothermia and drowning within minutes, with the likelihood of survival diminishing rapidly the longer an individual remains in the water. Even with adequate safety gear and training, the rapid pace of the work and the capricious conditions can culminate in tragedy in a matter of moments. Mandy Hansen, reared in a fishing family and spending time on her father's vessel, was keenly cognizant of the risks and challenges associated with the profession. Sig Hansen, comprehending the dangers all too well, ensured to enlighten his daughter on appropriate safety protocols and emergency procedures. Mandy imbibed the significance of donning personal protective gear, such as life jackets and immersion suits, and engaged in routine safety drills to brace for potential crises. In addition to the hands-on tutelage provided by her father, Mandy also pursued formal education in maritime safety and navigation. She attended the California Maritime Academy, where she garnered a deeper comprehension of the technical facets of vessel operation, marine science, and emergency management. This knowledge, amalgamated with her practical experience, aided Mandy in cultivating the skills and mindset requisite to mitigate risks and confront the challenges of commercial fishing. Mandy Hansen's odyssey to ascend as a respected member of the fishing fraternity was not devoid of hurdles. As a young woman venturing into a traditionally male-dominated arena, she encountered skepticism and uncertainty from some quarters, who queried her capacity to withstand the physical and mental rigors of the job. Nevertheless, Mandy was resolute in her determination to validate herself and secure her position among the echelons of the most adept and esteemed fishermen in the domain. Mandy initiated her career as a greenhorn deckhand on the Northwestern, her father's crab fishing vessel. In this capacity, she assumed responsibility for the most physically taxing and least glamorous chores on the boat, such as baiting and setting crab pots, categorizing and stowing the catch, and upholding the vessel. Despite the grueling nature of the tasks, Mandy embraced the gauntlet and immersed herself in mastering every facet of the job. Initially, some male crew members were hesitant to regard Mandy as an equal. They questioned whether she possessed the strength and stamina to match the demands of the job and whether her presence on the boat would be a distraction or a liability. Nevertheless, Mandy swiftly vindicated herself through her diligence, tenacity, and readiness to shoulder even the most arduous tasks without complaint. As she accrued experience and confidence, Mandy commenced assuming greater responsibilities on the boat. She acquired proficiency in operating the intricate machinery employed in crab fishing, such as the hydraulic crane and the pot launcher, and exhibited a natural aptitude for navigation and troubleshooting. Her father, Sig Hansen, discerned her burgeoning skills and began to rely on her as an indispensable member of the crew. Over time, Mandy's unwavering dedication and competence garnered her the esteem and admiration of her fellow crew members. They recognized that she was not merely riding on her father's coattails, but was a proficient and invaluable member of the team in her own right. Her ability to hold her own in the demanding, physically taxing milieu of the Bering Sea impressed even the most seasoned fishermen on the Northwestern. As word of Mandy's accomplishments disseminated throughout the fishing community, she solidified her standing as a rising luminary in the male-dominated fishing realm. She started to attract attention as one of the youngest and most promising female crab fishermen in the industry. Her triumphs on the Northwestern stirred other young women to contemplate careers in commercial fishing and defied entrenched stereotypes about women's roles in the field. Despite her burgeoning reputation, Mandy remained modest and concentrated on her duties. She understood that success in the fishing realm relied not on gender, but on proficiency, diligence, and commitment. Mandy's bond with her father, Sig Hansen, has been pivotal in her journey in the fishing trade. As a celebrated crab fisher and captain of the Northwestern, Sig has played a pivotal role in molding Mandy's career and personal development. However, their relationship has been fraught at times, particularly concerning Mandy's choice to venture into the hazardous realm of commercial fishing. Initially, Sig hesitated to endorse Mandy's aspiration to tread in his footsteps. As a father, he comprehended all too well the hazards and hurdles associated with the profession. Having spent decades navigating the perilous waters of the Bering Sea, he fretted over his daughter's safety and well-being, cognizant of the physical and mental toll that fishing exacted on even the most seasoned crew members. Despite Sig's reservations, Mandy's fervor for fishing and her resolve to prove herself ultimately won him over. As she commenced her tenure at Northwestern as a novice, Sig assumed the role of mentor, guiding her through the intricacies of the trade and imparting the skills requisite for success in the industry. Toiling side by side on the vessel, Mandy and Sig forged a closer connection as father and daughter, fortified by their shared exploits and the obstacles they confronted together on the Bering Sea. Sig came to admire Mandy's work ethic, tenacity, and innate talent for fishing, while Mandy cultivated a deeper appreciation and respect for her father's expertise and leadership. As Mandy's proficiency and self-assurance burgeoned, Sig began to lean on her more heavily as a member of the Northwestern crew. He entrusted her with progressively weightier responsibilities, such as operating intricate machinery and making pivotal decisions concerning fishing strategy. Simultaneously, he never wavered in his role as a father and continued to prioritize Mandy's safety above all else. Sig's guidance extended beyond the technicalities of fishing. He also aided Mandy in navigating the trials of being a young woman in a male-dominated sphere, furnishing guidance and encouragement as she encountered skepticism and prejudice from certain quarters. Through their conversations and shared experiences, Mandy imbibed invaluable lessons on leadership, communication, and the significance of asserting oneself in the face of adversity. Despite the deep bond they fostered while toiling together, Sig and Mandy's relationship was not devoid of tensions. Instances arose when Sig's protective instincts clashed with Mandy's yearning for autonomy and independence. Nonetheless, these instances of friction ultimately served to reinforce their relationship as they learned to communicate openly and find equilibrium between their professional and personal lives. As Mandy Hansen navigated the trials of her professional life in the fishing industry, she also discovered affection and companionship with someone who shared her passion for the sea. Mandy's personal life underwent a significant transformation when she encountered Clark Peterson, a fellow crab fisherman who would eventually become her spouse. Clark and Mandy's paths initially intersected when Clark joined the crew of the Northwestern as a newcomer. Similar to Mandy, Clark hailed from a fishing family and harbored a deep love for the ocean and the fishing lifestyle. Working alongside each other on the vessel and confronting the challenges and hazards of the Bering Sea together, Mandy and Clark uncovered a shared connection that transcended their professional lives. Over time, their friendship blossomed into a romantic relationship. They bonded over their mutual understanding of the demands of the fishing industry and their appreciation for the beauty and strength of the sea. Their shared experiences at Northwestern laid a solid foundation for their growing affection as they learned to support and depend on each other in the face of adversity. As their relationship deepened, Mandy and Clark began to imagine a future together, both on and off the boat. They dreamed of constructing a life that would allow them to continue pursuing their passion for fishing, while also establishing a stable and loving home. Their commitment to each other and their shared objectives helped them navigate the challenges of maintaining a relationship while working in such a demanding and unpredictable industry. Mandy's father, Sig Hansen, had always been protective of his daughter, both personally and professionally. However, as he observed Mandy and Clark's relationship flourish, he recognized the genuine affection and respect they had for each other. Sig perceived in Clark a kindred soul, someone who understood the fishing lifestyle and would be a supportive partner for his daughter. When Mandy and Clark decided to marry, they knew they wanted to celebrate their love in a way that honored their unique bond and their connection to the sea. They opted to hold their wedding ceremony on the docks in Seattle, surrounded by the boats and the water that had brought them together. With Sig's approval and the encouragement of their family and friends, Mandy and Clark exchanged vows against the backdrop of the bustling port. The ceremony served as a testament to their love and their commitment to building a life together, both on land and at sea. As they start this new chapter in their lives, Mandy and Clark knew they would face many challenges and uncertainties. The fishing industry is a demanding and unpredictable one, and maintaining a strong relationship while working together on a boat would require patience, communication, and a deep commitment to each other. Documenting Mandy's journey on Deadliest Catch, as her career in the fishing industry progressed, her story began to capture the attention of a broader audience. Through her appearances on the popular reality television show, which chronicles the lives and work of crab fishermen on the Bering Sea, Mandy and her father, Sig Hansen, quickly became favorites among viewers. They were drawn to their strong bond, their fearless approach to the challenges of the fishing industry, and their unyielding commitment to each other and their crew resonated deeply with viewers. As the show chronicled Mandy's journey from novice to seasoned deckhand, audiences witnessed her evolution both personally and professionally. For many viewers, Mandy's narrative was particularly gripping as it offered a rare glimpse into the lives of female crab fishermen in an industry predominantly dominated by men. Mandy's presence on the Northwestern and her accomplishments in the field played a pivotal role in dismantling stereotypes and questioning assumptions about women's capabilities in the realm of commercial fishing. As Mandy's popularity on the show soared, she began receiving messages from young women across the nation who found inspiration in her example. They viewed Mandy as a role model who pursued her aspirations with determination and bravery despite encountering obstacles and adversities. Many of these women reached out to Mandy to share their own stories and express gratitude for her trailblazing efforts in a traditionally male-dominated sphere. Mandy's influence extended beyond the fishing industry, resonating with women across various fields who were striving to overcome barriers and achieve success on their terms. Her example catalyzed a new generation of young women to pursue their passions and challenge the existing norms in any industry they chose. Through her appearances on Deadliest Catch, Mandy also played a vital role in raising awareness about the importance of safety in the fishing sector. The show documented the dangers and risks faced by Mandy and her fellow crew members daily, highlighting the imperative need for proper training, equipment, and protocols to safeguard everyone on board. Amidst the triumphs and tribulations of her career in the fishing industry, Mandy Hansen confronted a deeply personal and heart-rending tragedy during the filming of season 15 of Deadliest Catch. Mandy endured a miscarriage, a loss she initially kept concealed from the public eye. Anticipating the arrival of their first child, Mandy and her husband Clark Peterson were devastated by the news. Despite the profound grief, Mandy chose to keep her sorrow private during the filming of the show, unwilling to detract from the crucial work of the fishing season or burden her crewmates with her anguish. She persisted in her duties on the boat, navigating through the physical and emotional rigors of the job while silently bearing the weight of her loss. However, following the conclusion of the season, Mandy decided to share her ordeal with the world through a poignant social media post. In the post, she disclosed the heartbreaking news of her miscarriage and articulated the anguish and sorrow that she and Clark had been enduring in solitude. Accompanied by a photo of tiny crab-themed booties, symbolizing the hopes and dreams they harbored for their unborn child, Mandy's message conveyed the depth of her love and the profound sense of loss she experienced in the aftermath of the miscarriage. The response to Mandy's post was immense, as fans and followers from across the globe reached out to extend their support, condolences, and shared experiences. Many women who had also faced the anguish of miscarriage found comfort and fortitude in Mandy's message, feeling less secluded in their sorrow and more united within a community of empathy and understanding. Confronting this heart-rending tragedy, Mandy derived strength from the affection and backing of her family and friends. Her husband, Clark, remained a consistent source of solace and empathy, offering unwavering support through the darkest times and aiding her in discovering optimism and recuperation amid their loss. Mandy's father, Sig Hansen, alongside the remaining members of the Northwestern crew, also stood by her, providing love, encouragement, and steadfast support. Recognizing the profound depth of Mandy's anguish and the bravery it took to share her tale with the world, they stood in solidarity with her as she navigated the challenging journey of mourning and healing. In the aftermath of her heart-rending miscarriage, Mandy Hansen faced an arduous path ahead. The ache of her loss remained raw, and the obstacles of the fishing industry loomed large on the horizon. Yet, true to her resilient and resolute nature, Mandy opted to persist and pursue her aspirations both on the Bering Sea and in her personal life. Despite the tragedy she had endured, Mandy resumed her duties aboard the Northwestern and on Deadliest Catch, discovering solace in the familiar routines of life at sea. With the backing of her spouse, Clark, and the rest of the crew, Mandy delved back into the intricacies of fishing, drawing strength and determination from adversity. Under the mentorship of her father, Sig Hansen, Mandy gradually assumed additional leadership roles, mastering the intricate logistics of operating a fishing vessel and making pivotal decisions amidst the ever-changing conditions of the Bering Sea. As Mandy's responsibilities aboard the boat expanded, so did her reputation as a proficient and capable fisherwoman. She garnered the respect and admiration of her peers within the industry, emerging as a rising luminary and a formidable presence on the Bering Sea. Even amidst her focus on professional advancement, Mandy remained steadfast in her pursuit of personal dreams and aspirations. Together with Clark, they persevered in their aspirations of starting a family, contemplating the intricate balancing act of navigating the demands of the fishing industry, alongside the joys and tribulations of parenthood. While cognizant of the challenges that lay ahead, Mandy remained assured in her fortitude, resilience, and the unwavering support of her loved ones to confront whatever obstacles arose. Having surmounted numerous trials in her life and career already, she maintained optimism in her ability to flourish and prosper, both aboard the boat and in her endeavors. While you are still here, let's embark on a journey back in time as we unravel the captivating origins of Deadliest Catch. What tales of courage and adversity await discovery in the depths of its inception? And how did this iconic show come to conquer the high seas of reality television? The origins of famous fishing show Deadliest Catch is an American reality TV series that debuted on the Discovery Channel on April 12, 2005. The show chronicles the experiences of crab fishermen aboard fishing vessels in the Bering Sea during the Alaskan king crab and snow crab fishing seasons. Dutch Harbor, Alaska, located in the Aleutian Islands, serves as the main hub for the fishing fleet's operations. Produced for Discovery Channel, the show's title reflects the significant risks of injury or death inherent in this line of work. Since its premiere, Deadliest Catch has gained a global audience and continues to be broadcast worldwide. The inaugural season comprised 10 episodes, concluding on June 14, 2005. Subsequent seasons have followed a similar airing schedule, typically running from April to June or July each year. The series' 19th season premiered on April 18, 2023, and was simulcast on both Discovery Channel and the streaming platform Discovery+. The show provides an intimate portrayal of life on the Bering Sea for fishermen aboard various crab fishing boats during the October king crab season and the January Opilio crab season. Deadliest Catch accentuates the perilous conditions faced by fishermen and camera crews alike as they contend with heavy crab pots swinging across the deck, manage the movement of hundreds of pounds of crab amid hazardous surroundings, and navigate precarious situations amid gale force winds and towering waves. Each episode typically centers on a specific narrative, scenario, or theme occurring on one or multiple boats. In addition to the primary storyline, side narratives explore the backgrounds and activities of individual crew members, particularly greenhorns on several vessels. The captains of the fleet are prominently featured, showcasing their relationships with fellow captains and crew members, as well as their competitive spirit in the pursuit of crab. The series frequently touches upon common themes such as friendly rivalries among captains, familial bonds within the fleet, for instance, brothers owning or working on the same vessel, the stressors of life at sea, and the challenges faced by inexperienced crew members. Due to the extreme dangers associated with Alaskan crab fishing, the show often depicts U.S. Coast Guard rescue helicopters stationed at Integrated Support Command Kodiak in St. Paul Island, which frequently conduct rescues of crew members imperiled by the harsh conditions of the Bering Sea. The U.S. Coast Guard's involvement has been particularly highlighted during episodes centered on the loss of crab fishing vessels, including FV Big Valley in January 2005, FV Ocean Challenger in October 2006, and FV Katmai in October 2008. Original Productions ensures a camera crew is ready with the Coast Guard to capture such incidents during filming. This rate was nearly 75% higher than that of pilots, flight engineers, and loggers, which were the subsequent most hazardous occupations. However, Alaskan king crab fishing is deemed even more hazardous than the average commercial fishing job, primarily due to the treacherous conditions prevalent in the Bering Sea during crab fishing seasons. According to data from the pilot episode, the mortality rate during the primary crab seasons averages close to one fisherman per week. Additionally, the injury rate for crews on most crab boats is nearly 100%, largely attributable to severe weather conditions such as frigid gales, rogue waves, and ice formations on and around the boat. Moreover, the danger of working with heavy machinery on a constantly rolling boat deck exacerbates the risks. As of 2005, Alaskan king crab fishing reported over 300 fatalities per 100,000 workers, with more than 80% of those who lost their lives to drowning or hypothermia. The series' inaugural season was filmed during the final year of the Derby-style king crab fishery. Subsequent seasons were set after a transition to the quota system, part of a process known as rationalization. Under the old Derby-style approach, numerous crews competed to catch crab within a restrictive time frame. Conversely, the individual fishing quota system, implemented in later seasons, allocated quotas to established owners, allowing them to catch crab at a more relaxed pace. The rationale behind this transition was primarily safety-oriented. Moreover, the switch to the quota system was expected to elevate the value of crab by restricting the market availability. However, gains from this transition were partially offset by an influx of foreign crabs during the 2006 season. The rationalization process resulted in many crews being rendered unemployed, as owners of smaller boats found their allocated quotas insufficient to cover operating expenses. Consequently, during the initial season under the IFQ system, the fleet dwindled from over 250 boats to approximately 89 larger vessels with higher quotas. A key aspect of the series is its portrayal of the harsh realities of life at sea, including the conduct and demeanor of fishermen immersed in a perilous lifestyle, with minimal tolerance for subpar performance or incompetence. Numerous episodes have featured greenhorn fishermen, who often face harsh criticism and sometimes bullying from seasoned deckhands. Incidents captured on the show include a new fisherman confronting his captain over perceived unfair treatment and a physical altercation on board the fishing vessel Wizard, where a greenhorn sailor punched a veteran fisherman engaged in harassment and bullying. Both instances resulted in the immediate dismissal of the offending crew members upon the ship's return to port, prompting varied reactions from viewers of the show. With every wave, there is a man whose brilliance shines brighter. Who is this man? What makes him the true brain behind the operation? Sigurd Hansen, the genius behind the Deadliest Catch. Sigurd Johnny Hansen, born on April 28, 1966, is a Norwegian-American skipper and co-proprietor of the fishing vessel FV Northwestern. Since 2005, Hansen has appeared in every season of the documentary TV series Deadliest Catch, also serving as a technical consultant for the production and starring in Deadliest Catch, The Viking Returns. Sigurd Johnny Hansen was born in Seattle, the eldest among 3 siblings. His brothers are Norman and Edgar. Their father, Sverre Hansen, hailed from a lineage of Norwegian descent fishermen. His father and grandfather initiated opilio crab fishing in Alaska as a means to enable crab boats to generate income throughout the year rather than solely during short-term or late-year seasons. Hansen commenced his fishing career at the age of 14, laboring on his family's vessel. After high school graduation, he embarked on year-round fishing endeavors, spending an average of 10 months annually in Alaska. Sigurd Hansen commenced as a deckhand on his father's vessel before reaching his teenage years, progressively ascending the ranks. At 22, he transitioned to a relief skipper, substituting for other captains on the Northwestern, in addition to undertaking brief stints on other boats in the fleet. By 24, he assumed full-time command of the Northwestern. Over time, the vessel emerged as a top producer with a stellar safety record. Under Hansen's leadership for nearly 2 decades, it has never encountered a fatality at sea. Its rate of serious injuries also remains notably lower compared to other vessels in the Bering Sea fleet. The Northwestern clinched the final Derby seasons in 2005 for king crab and 2006 for opilio, securing titles for the highest poundage caught and earnings among the featured boats in Deadliest Catch. As of 2011, Hansen serves as the year-round captain during king and opilio crab seasons, as well as the pot cod fishery on the Northwestern. His younger brothers, Edgar and Norman, have both logged extensive deck time, with Norman currently serving as the boat's engineer. In March 2010, Hansen debuted as a published author with his book North by Northwestern, a seafaring family on deadly Alaskan waters, which ascended to the bestseller lists of the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal. On April 29, 2010, Hansen made an appearance on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, expressing his aspiration to participate as a contestant on the subsequent season of the ABC reality TV series Dancing with the Stars. Leno's team initiated a Facebook page to garner support for his inclusion on the show. In September 2010, Hansen declared his decision not to return for the 7th season of Deadliest Catch. However, in October 2010, he announced his comeback to the show. He lent his voice to a character named Krabby in the Disney Pixar film Cars 2. Hansen competed in the 14th season of The Celebrity Apprentice. In 2014, Hansen was enshrined into the Scandinavian American Hall of Fame, alongside Tonight Show bandleader Doc Severinsen and singer Bobby Vee. As we bid farewell to Mandy Hansen's journey on Deadliest Catch, one question lingers. What does true bravery mean to you? I would be in the comments. Don't forget to hit the like button. Also, share with your loved ones and subscribe for more interesting videos.